This is No Love Philly, and this is Etta's baby boy.
All right. Welcome to No Love Philly. This podcast is dedicated to artists, activists, performers, nonprofits, comedians, bands, DJs, promoters, breweries, anyone really who makes this city as awesome as it is. I started this podcast because I like stories. I like learning about people, what their lives were like, and what shaped them to be who they are today. And I was also very curious to meet people who make this city what it is. So for this podcast, I wanted to make sure that I got someone who really embodies the city of brotherly love and who is a part of this city and contributes to it regularly. And I think I did that. I think I found the perfect guest, and I knew when I first saw him that I wanted him to be a part of this. And so I'm really glad that we booked him. And whether you live in the city or the suburbs, or you were just passing through Philadelphia, you're coming here on vacation, you're bringing your family through, then you know this guy, especially if you spent time around Old City. And you know him because he plays the saxophone at 4th and Market, and he's been doing so for the past 7 or 8 years, or at least he's been performing in Philly for 7 or 8 years. I think he's been at 4th and Market for the past couple years is what he said. He's a total free spirit. He's free from the constraints of the 9 to 5. He's free from the worries about what others expect from him. Free from any constraints that society could put in place. And that's because he doesn't do what he does as a profession. He just does it out of love and to spread the message of love. He really believes that that's what the world needs more of. And I got to say that I walked away from this interview kind of inspired to kind of follow what it is that I want to do, and kind of instead of what's expected of me to do. So I'm proud to present this podcast from the the city of brotherly love, and I'm happy to present our first guest, Mr. David Puryear, aka Etta's baby boy. And if at the end of this podcast you're interested in booking David, please contact him at ettasbabyboy@gmail.com. That's ETTAS babyboy@gmail.com. He was a really great guest. I was so happy to have him on, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of these. So here he is, Mr. David Puryear. All right, everybody. Perfect. All right. So first of all, thanks a lot, man, for coming out here and meeting me today. We are I forgot what the name of this place actually is now. We had a menu. We lost that, John. All right. So, how long have you lived in Philadelphia?
About 15 years.
So about 15 years, right? So for people who don't know, who are just listening right now, I'm talking to what do we got? Hot tea coming in. All right. So I'm talking to David. I want to make sure that I get your name correct. David Puryear. Okay. Altoist, also known as Etta's baby boy. Thank you very much. So you've been here for 15 years. Where did you originally come from?
Originally, I guess you would say Orange, New Jersey. Northern Jersey.
Okay.
Grew up in Jersey.
So you grew up in Jersey. So you've been around this area your whole life.
Yeah, North Jersey.
So what brought you out to Philadelphia?
This is where I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean? You go where, for me, I go where the Creator wants me to be, and so Philadelphia is the destination. That's where I'm at now.
So people might know you. I mean, whether it's people that are traveling through the city or people that live in this city, you're always playing the saxophone out here on the street, right? So do you normally stay at 4th and Market? Is that your normal jam spot, or?
Well, it's been my spot for, say, like the last couple of years.
The last couple of years.
The thing that I've done, you start in one location and you you, well, when I first started, you stay in an area and you hope you don't have any interference from the local police and stuff. And then if you don't do that, then you try to like settle in. So I went to a variety of places to try to quote fit in, and so I stopped one day at Fourth and Market, and it was a hot day. It had a nice shady spot, and it seemed a place to be. So I did, and it stuck. You just it stuck. You know what I mean? And before that I was up on like 30th Street, up by the bridge and stuff. So you stay there and you move on, and then you just until the creator tell you to go someplace else.
All right. Yeah. So what's cool about that area too is you got like all the media right there. You've got all the news stations, all of that. So I imagine that brings.
Yeah. But I didn't choose that because of that. That's just where I ended up. And then after I got there, then I saw, where I was. You have, the Constitution there, so you have a different flex of, people coming in every day. You got the Declaration of Independence Hall and stuff like that. And then you got the everyday, working people, and then you got Old City. So as a destination, when people come to Philly, they want to come to say Old City or the Art Center or wherever. So once you get there, then you realize, well, damn, this is a pretty good spot. So that's what I like about it.
So what originally got you? So how long have you actually been performing on the street? Like, how long have you been doing that?
About the last 7 years.
About 7 years. All right. So what prompted you to do that? Like, at what point were you like, I'm going to go out with my sax and I'm gonna do this?
It's for me. Keep on saying for me because my story is unorthodox. I do. Mine hasn't been quote the formal way. You tend to say if you got a drive to do something, right? You want to look to those who came before you and get inspiration from them to do this and do that, right? Mine has always been about timing. I've always wanted to quote play the saxophone, right? I didn't know specifically why, but like I was given a clarinet at a young age, and I never had time to really play. You know what I mean? So because I was constantly on the move, all right. So after you go through life and you get the opportunity to stop, catch your breath, and to do what you wanted to do, or to address this yearning that you've had all your life to do. You know what I mean? So that's what has happened. From that point of getting that first clarinet until to now, it's been a progression of learning life itself. And in the process of learning life, you gain confidence, and you become into who you are. So therefore, well, let me take this step and let me do this, because there's no roadmap. The roadmap will tell you, well, get yourself this, do that, and do that there. You need a band, you need a group. I'm not all into all that. Only thing I need is me. You know what I mean? Rely on me. You know what I mean? Rely on me and trust in the Creator and deal with the truth. And if you deal with those two things, or that connections of dealing with the truth, because like when I'm performing on the street, I carry these signs around. I have about 32, 35, signs.
Yeah, I've seen that. You have a whole bunch of different signs.
Yeah. Well, see, my partner, she's a clinical psychologist, right? She has a master's from Sarah Lawrence and a PhD from the University of Denver, right?
Wow.
So when we came together, see, that's another thing. See, it's about timing. You know what I mean?
You'll probably have to hold the microphone a little bit closer.
It's about timing. I played before and I didn't have the signs. You know what I'm saying? And one day, this young lady came up to me and dropped her business card off into the case. And as they say, the rest is history, right? And since so I incorporate the signs which deal with the truth. You know what I mean? And my whole thing that I'm trying to address is love. You know what I mean? It's to deal with love as a individual, love as as human beings, and break down the stereotypes and the misconceptions that are put out there. You know what I mean? For that we consume in a lifetime. And by that I mean, like, when we come here, meaning this existence called Earth, right, or this thing here. we don't know anything, and we didn't choose this. So therefore, we have to learn it as we go along. So you hope that the people that are around you, starting with your mother and father, you know what I mean, loves you, all right? And so, so you don't know, love, love. So somebody beating you side the head, that may be love to them. So therefore, you incorporate, well, this is love. They love me because they beat me. You know what I mean? But no, to love where where there's unconditional love, where you don't find a reason not to love. You know what I mean? So you have to gravitate to that. So we're not born there, because for me, from in my existence of 8 years on the planet, there has never been love. There has never been peace. So we talk about love and peace, but then we talk about it in an abstract form, because we haven't experienced. Mankind has been, warring with each other ever since. You know what I mean? So when do we stop that behavior? When do we address that behavior? You know what I mean? So in the midst of the way you do that is focus attention. That's how you address it. Love is given by focus attention. You focus your attention on that. So I try to, with the signs, like one of them is, love is who you are, ego is who you think you are. So if the basic is that's what it's all about, love. And if you don't deal with love, then you deal with ego. There's no in between. It's either love or it's ego. You know what I mean? So we have to come to grips with which one we want to deal with. So when and if we deal with love, then everything is cool. If we deal with ego, then we got a constant battle on our hand, because ego is never satisfied. It's always wanting. You know what I mean? And you can't, so why even deal with that? You know what I mean? And love is such a more beautiful force. You know what I mean? It's a force of good. You know what I mean? So that's what we try to address. I try to address the signs, to hope that the sound will get you to read one of the signs and just give it a thought to it. You know what I mean? And it's like being a seed. Maybe just planting a seed for you that sometime else you might think about it. You know what I mean? What it's about. Little simple things. I just recently had my wife, my partner, we got a 2-year-old son, and she's breastfeeding him.
Wow, man! So you're 68 and you have a 2-year-old son?
Yeah.
Wow! Congratulations,
Thank you.
man.
And this is what I'm talking about. See, it's this. I got a 40-year-old and a 46-year-old son too. You know what I'm saying? But now I got a 2-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And life is completely different now. The appreciation is completely different now. And the purpose is even more defined now of what I have to do, what I'm trying to do. So she breastfeed, right? In this time and age. But then again, look at how many women don't breastfeed. Okay? Now the Creator gives, female these lovely breasts to feed their children. And here society has flipped it, where the average woman don't breastfeed. What is more natural than what the Creator gave you to do that, as opposed to sterile, some bottles?
And so many people get offended by it too. You know what I mean? Like when they see it out in public, they're really upset about that for some reason.
But it's nothing more natural than that.
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's what we try to address. You know what I mean? It's the same thing applied to daycare. Dealing with the child again. We love our children, but then we send our children to daycare. And I live across from a recreation center where people bring their kids, and usually it's about I think 6 to 7 children per adult. Okay, now we don't know nothing about these adults, and then we just know that that the average person in America today, since it's a Medicaid society, right, might have issues. So why would you want to send your kid for somebody to take care of them and give them their values or whatever, or deal with their children, or you got to deal with other people's children, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to a mother being one-on-one. So my partner right now, she's on one-on-one. It's not her and 5 other kids there. It's just one.
Right.
So so that's what we get caught up into, this hustle and bustle of 40 hours a week and working and doing this without time, our energy, and attention. You see, we give those up so readily for a paycheck. All right, and before you know it, you get caught up in it. You get caught up. All right, so when you're in high school, you know what I mean. You got to get out of high school, and then you go to college. If you go to college, and if you spend 4 years in college, then you about $40,000-$50,000 in debt. So therefore, you're going to start compromising your faith and your belief and everything else because you got to address this $40,000 debt you have. Okay, so in the process, you know what I mean.
You probably have to put this up closer. I want to get everything that you're saying.
You know what I mean? So you have to compromise. So what at this stage, is I refuse to compromise. You know what I mean? Especially if you're dealing with the truth. You know, why compromise? You know what I mean? So, and why do, quote, what's popular, what everybody else is doing? You know what I'm saying? And what everybody else is doing is against my core values, so I'm not going to do that. If, for example, as far as playing, all right, so it's been told that, well, to play, you have to have a manager, and you have to, get a studio, and you have to have a record contract. Hey, well, see, if you buy the lie and you feed into it, well, then you go through that and do that. I don't believe that. You know what I mean?
So is that what? So not buying into that lie and saying that, in order to play music, I gotta have a manager, do all this. Is that what prompted you to say, okay? Well, first of all, did you know how to play the saxophone 7 years ago when you started this?
Oh yeah. Like I said, I started. My grandmother gave me a clarinet. You know what I mean? And all through grammar, well, not all through, grammar school, I was playing.
You really have to put it. These are bad mics.
I was playing. I was playing. But see, it's conform. You know what I mean? Everybody want to, everybody want to do the right thing. All right, and everybody want to,
or what we think is right.
Of course.
Right.
Because of your ignorance or your lack of knowledge, then you will tend to, jump through a whole bunch of hoops, thinking that this will get me to where I need to be.
Right.
So, but then again, that's where I'm at. See, at an older age, then I'm not tempted by all the hoops. I refuse to jump through the hoops.
I got you.
Yeah. I don't need the agent. You know what I mean? I don't need the big house. I don't need this here, whatever insecurities I might have had that I feel like I need now. So no, I really don't care.
Right.
So when you deal with I don't care, well then that's a whole lot. It makes you a lot better. It makes me a lot more relaxed.
Got it.
I mean? Instead of just jumping through all these damn hoops because somebody said so. And my thing is who is the somebody? You know what I mean? And then when you're talking about the music, well, you have to play a E flat behind a C. Well, who says that? You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I try to break that off the bat. I play a C to E flat because they said I can't.
Right.
And then I have the instant gratification to play that and get a response because of the people who come by. And if they like it, they like it. You know what I mean? Good. But I can see by their faces or whatever, or they'll come up and say, "I heard you a block away." My first question, my first response is, "Well, how did it sound?"
Right.
See, the sound, brought you here, okay? And then there's a sign there, so it wasn't a mistake for you to be here at this time and this place. You know what I mean? This is where you were supposed to be. So if it happened, that meant it was supposed to happen. Okay?
Yeah.
So people say, "Well, why don't you go over here? Or why don't you go over there?" Well, I'm not. I'm here, and so are you. So if you're here and I'm here, this is where we're supposed to be. So let's get it, let's communicate.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that. I love that mantra of life and kind of way. And I love where you're going with that. And so it was just something that was inside of you. You just decided, I'm going to go out there and play. I'm going to play right here. I'm going to pick a spot, or I'm going to do what I want. And I'm going to try to share this message. And your goal is to get the music to get people to attract it, and then they get the message of whatever it is with your signs that you have going on, and to spread that message of love. Is that what I understand?
Love is a total message. You know what I'm saying?
That's a perfect way to hold that microphone, by the way.
Yeah, love is a perfect thing to deal with because that's the force that's all about. And once for me, once you lock into it, then it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Because see, you have purpose and you have direction. You know what I mean? And by not being able to, it's like somebody tell you that, well, if you do this and you do that, and you go ahead and do that, and you still don't get where you want to be, then that was wasted effort.
Yeah.
Because you did what somebody else did. But if you go ahead and did do that, and if you did it, well, then there wasn't no right or wrong, because that's what you did, and that's part of your experience. And see, I believe in the individual. You know what I mean? It's like no two snowflakes are alike, right? So no two individuals are alike, and they be trying to put you in these groups. You know what I mean? And once you realize the depth of the stupidity, well, then why would you want to participate?
Right. So that really hits me. It really hits me hard what you're saying, because like even me, what you're saying is just translating so well, because all my, well, I wouldn't say all my life, all of my adult life, I've been trying to like constantly do that right thing that you're talking about. Went out, got my my education, and I've been working and through that, I mean, not to discredit myself, but I've also gone and continued interviewing people and doing things like that. And then I took a couple years break, and then when I moved out here. But man, it's been hitting me hard. Like, man, you know what? I really want to go back to what it is that I love. Not just doing. Not that I don't mind the work that I do, but I want to go out and continue to interview people, because I'm a fan of stories. Like just like how we're sitting here right now. I'm a fan of your story and any story that's out here. So I have this constant struggle a little bit about doing the right thing, right? Providing for your family, working that job, paying off that debt, right? And doing the things that I want to do, like interviewing people and learning people's stories. So when you say that, man, that hits home right there. And you say, don't conform, just do what you think, and it'll. I guess, has it happened for you? Is it? Are you at where you want to be
now?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now, yeah, but see, look, I had the dream to want to play before, and I was married and I had a kid, you know what I mean, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do, you know what I mean, because of those restrictions. Because then, I didn't have a partner who understood. So what she said she understood, but then, when it got tight, no, you didn't understood. You didn't understand. All right. But I'm
lucky in that facet. My wife is completely supportive. But go.
Well, and that's the beauty of it.
Right.
See, you have to. See, we're dealing with 360 degrees. You know what I'm saying? So if you got 180, then you have. You know what I mean? Or you 270 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be complete. If I, and when I was playing before, I was incomplete because I wasn't complete inside.
Got you.
I didn't have the partner, you know what I mean? But now, man, after, and since, me and my first wife, we split, there was a void for, years that you're trying to find. Once again, just like you have this quest to play, you have this quest for this partner, for this completion. And that's what, led me to Philly. And then when I share the story with her, she had a drive that led her to Philly. So therefore, then that's how we connected. So that's what, leads me to believe that, there's a greater power, other than this man-made power, or these people who are here on earth to think they got power, or who we give the power to out of the illusion of what they might have. And you know what I mean? But they're only human beings. They're only human beings. And most of the time we spend our time trying to impress human beings and going, and, when we go to school, I went to Montclair State in Jersey, right? And I remember after my sophomore year, I wrote a paper about the inner cities. And it was funny because I was one of two people of color in the class, and I was only male. And I did the paper.
So what year is that? What are you thinking?
It was 1970, 72.
Damn.
Yeah, 72, because I had just back, I came back from, I was in the Air Force. I came back I got out of service in 1970 after being, through that NOM stuff. And then I went to school, all right? So I went to school, so you come out of high school, and next thing you know, you're in the service, and then at that time, this is 1966. So I went from, Jersey to Biloxi, Mississippi. Well, I went from there to Texas.
Okay.
To Lackland, San Antonio, Texas.
Oh,
right?
all right, cool.
I left from San Antonio and went to Biloxi, Mississippi. Now, during this time in Biloxi, Mississippi, there was, you saw about Jim Crow, there was, colored only, niggers only, or whatever signs still on the doors and stuff. So here me thinking, I'm leaving, New Jersey, I got confronted with this shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, okay. You know what I mean? So it's a rude awakening to, where I'm at, right? So you take all those in stride and you learn from them. So those moments, sticks in your mind, and you grow from them. You know what I mean? You grow. So at this time and point, I have a partner that I've been yearning for, who compliments me, and hopefully I compliment her, that now the endeavors that or the quest that you take out on, oh man, they're easier. You see what I'm saying? Because you have that ultimate person that you've been looking for, and now you incorporate that in with the purpose of your horn, and see, then that's when it all come together. So yeah, now I have all that now, whereas before I didn't, but I couldn't have got there. And then if I would have got there, it wouldn't have lasted like it is going to last now because it's not the same. You know, it's going to last now because it's real and it's it's dealing with the truth and
it's love.
It's a love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Wow. So that's a crazy to go full circle that way, like you were just saying, you know. So do you ever play like clubs? Do you ever get calls for clubs? Do you not? I mean,
just before we got down here, I got to go to a wedding on the 4th.
okay.
All right, once again, and I consider that an honor because you know what I mean when somebody takes such a special occasion like that there and wants you to participate. You know, I mean, I feel indeed honored to do that. So, and I address that by telling them, you know, I don't, you know, if you're looking for a traditional song or stuff like that, there, no, I don't do that. What you see out here is what what you get, and that's what it's all about. The instantaneous. You know, if you go there and you say, I want to hear this song or that song, all right? Well, somebody else on the planet might want to hear that same song at their wedding too, right? What I hope to bring is a sound that you won't hear anywhere else because it's me, right? And it's not scripted. It's spontaneous. Whatever come out is going to come out. You know what I'm saying?
So everything you do is on the fly. Everything that you do on Fourth and Market, all of that, those are not pre-rehearsed songs. Those are not songs that are already in existence. Everything you do is on the fly.
Life is a song. You see, once we get into the definition, you know, a song got to be what a melody, a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know, who says who? You know what I'm saying? So, but life is a continuous, you know, music. You see what I'm saying? So no, I don't have quote the formal as far as saying I'm gonna do a song. No, I'm not gonna do no song. Why limit myself? Because the song is not needed. People pass by for an instant. You know what I mean? So you know how they consume a song in the time. So what I think people have a tendency to try to do is if they hear a song or if they hear something similar to their ear, familiar to their ear, oh, he must be good because I hear their song or I recognize that song. Well, and one time a lady asked me, "Do you play songs?" I said, "No," and she said, "Well, why not?" I said, "Well, let me show you something," and I played a six note whole note scale. And I said, do you know what that is? She said, no. I said, so what are you talking about? If I play something, which is, theoretically, every note is a half note apart. So if you don't recognize that, then what make you think, you recognize a Yankee Doodle Dandy? Well, I'm not here for you to play Yankee Doodle Dandy because I don't believe in Yankee Doodle Dandy. I'm not here to play Amazing Grace. Because I don't believe Amazing Grace. See, because that's, Amazing Grace deals with a European who was a slave owner or owned slave, and I might be wrong, and he had a transformation, and now he's writing this song where he's redeemed. Well, I don't get too much joy out of trying to perform that and play that. You know what I mean? So why would I waste my time doing that?
Right.
And a lot of songs, you know what I mean, take George and Ira Gershwin, you know what I mean, Summertime. Well, summertime and the living is easy.
Yeah.
Fish are jumping and the coffee is hard and stuff like that. Your daddy's rich and your mother good looking and it's something about picking cotton. Man, I don't want to sing that.
Right,
See,
right.
that takes people back to a time that I find very unpleasant.
Okay.
So why would I want to get out here on Broad and Market and Forth and play something that will take people back to to the old days, or when they say the good old days? Well, them damn days wasn't so good.
Right,
so
right.
why am I going to, believe that and play that?
Right.
And I'm not going to do that for you to give me $1. Well, I'll put $5. I'll put $10 in there if you play that. No, I don't. Take your money and go ahead.
Go ahead. Take your money, right?
Yeah.
So do people often stop by and say, "Hey, I have this event I want you to perform"? Does that happen for you a lot?
Like I said, I got a wedding to go to on the 4th. They live right here in the old city, and I did a thing up here at the Constitution Center for the matter of fact. This time last year was sometime for the lottery commission, the people to sell the lottery tickets and stuff.
Right.
I did a concert up there. So I get around. It all depends. If as long as you want what I perform or what I do, there's an audience for that. It's an audience for everything. You just have to, find your niche or something. But it's got to be authentic. It's not about trying to duplicate something else. Because then people see through it. You know what you know. I mean, what I do is what I do, and the problems come when people try to well, you need to do this. Now, how the hell can somebody try to tell me what I need to do when I do this every day?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And this is all you do, right?
Yeah.
This is it. That's your thing, right? That's your profession.
It's not a profession. That's what I'm saying. See, it's not like a person to go to a job and got a job. You know what I mean? Calling. Put it like that there.
May I have another one, please? Thank you.
It's like my calling. You know what I mean? It's like I'm locked in. No, my purpose.
Your purpose. All right.
It's like a purpose now. You know what I mean? I know that the Creator has me here for a purpose. There's a Pharoah Sanders has a song called "The Creator Has a Master Plan, Peace and Happiness Throughout the Land." You know what I mean? The only demand that the Creator makes is that we love each other. You see what I mean? So I think that we need to address those. Those are things that I'm trying to address with the music. The love. You know what I mean? We got to stop this bullshit we doing, man. I mean, look at it. We just had this election where 60 million people voted for Donald Trump.
Oh, I know. That's
you know what I'm
crazy,
saying?
right.
So
I woke up and thought it was a bad dream. I was like, no,
but that's what I'm saying. But he said, let's make America great again. You see what I mean? But look where the country's at. We got 60 million, and we probably, 60 million or 61 went with Hillary. 61 million went with him, and popular votes. But he won the electoral college. But we didn't have any choice. And then when you tell them, we're taking the lesser of two evils. We are? Is that a democracy? Oh, we're not a democracy in the first place. We're a republic.
Republic, yeah.
You know what I mean? So they throw all these terms for all this here. Let's deal with the truth. What are we? And what are we standing for? You know what I mean? And once again, we talk about this peace. Man, there's never been peace on the earth. Look what they're doing over there in Syria every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? They bombed our damn hospitals. The hospitals?
Right.
There's no damn hospital you bombing. And we talking about let's be peaceful. And then we're going through this now, talking about Thanksgiving. It's funny how right now, when you watch any news station, and what they're going to show you for the next 3 days is somebody standing in line getting some damn food. Well, if we can feed the people now, why can't we feed them every damn day?
Right.
We got all this damn money. We claim we can do this. Well, then what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So why participate in the madness? There has to be a voice somewhere to say, no, man, I got enough of this. So once you find out that I got enough of it, then maybe somebody else said, I got enough too. So, and then you don't worry about the rent, the mortgage, or whatever, because if you have faith in a higher force, a creative force, and one where you know where reality really is and where the power really is and where it comes from, not man. You know what I mean? It's not about man. You know what I mean? That's what we're dealing with, man. And how we just give up our beings, our soul, because of what man tell us to do, what he want us to do. You know what I mean? Like I said, from the time we're born, and we got all these people, mother and father, uncles and classmates, and all these people in our life who tells us things. But most of the things that they tell us is how to survive in this bullshit.
So have you always felt like have you always had this viewpoint, or did it take you a while to get here, or did you wake up one day and you're like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not conforming. I'm going to do what I want to do, what my heart speaks to me. Did you wake up one day and do that? Was it something was it something you were always trying to get to and were never able to get to, and you finally just had it, or how did that happen? How did it happen where you decided this is what I'm going to do? I'm not gonna listen to what anybody else is telling me, and I'm gonna do this. How did you get to that point?
I think it's a thing of just living. Like I said, going to coming out of high school, 17, going to Biloxi, Mississippi, and then before I was 20, I'm over in Southeast Asia, and then I came back to the United States in let me see, November 69. November 69. I came from San Francisco. I got off the plane from Hawaii, Hickam Field, and I went to the airport, and I checked in with the airline stewardess, and I said, Puryear, you got a ticket for Puryear going back to New York. And she said, hold up. And then he said, yeah. He said, we got you. And then this young lady was standing there, and I use that word loosely, and she said, hold up, my name is Puryear. And the ticket agent said, nah, this is for Sergeant Puryear. And she said, oh, you gave that nigga my ticket. I was back in country maybe an hour, and I was
An
over there.
hour. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. So you just got done fighting this whole war. You're coming back in.
I came in from custom. You got to come in and check in with custom. I came from custom, went from custom to the airport. I mean, to the ticket counter, and that's what I heard the first time I got back. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, ain't this a bitch? You know what I mean? So okay, so.
And at that time, they weren't really pro troop.
No,
right?
no.
I mean, you came back when you came
Hostile.
back from non. It was very hostile, wasn't it? And so,
yeah.
so you kind of have two marks against you in your own country because you're African American at that time,
Right?
And you're a Vietnam War vet.
Right.
You went over there and you
Baby
did,
killers.
Yeah, there you go. So, whoa, man.
Right.
So you come into the airport. You're there for an hour.
Yeah.
And they're
and
already
she said
at
you
you.
gave that nigga my ticket.
Wow, man.
So then I come to when I was telling you about the Montclair going to school, right? So I went to Montclair and I was telling you about the inner city family class, right? So she told me I did a paper on inner city family, right? And so the biggest city to Montclair is Newark, which is predominantly black, right? And I had to go down and I did the report. So when I did the report, she told me she gave me an F. You know,
Whoa.
so I go to the board to look. Back then they had like the Social Security. You could look at the Social Security number, and next to it would be your grade. So automatically I saw one F on there. So I thought, well, that can't be me. So the hell with it, right? And I looked at it, and damn, under my Social Security, that's who got the F. And I'm like, holy shit. So I contacted Miss Lois Guthrie. That's who the teacher was. And I said,
you even remember her name?
Oh yeah, from West Virginia, from West Virginia. And I said, excuse me. I said, like, what's up? My midterm, I got like an 80 or 90 or something like that there. Now, how the hell can I get an F on the final term? She told me, well, look here, and she bluntly said, well, if you tone down your paper and do it over again, then.
She told you to tone down the paper.
I told you the dynamics of the class. I was the only black male in there. There was only two other black people. I'm at an educational Montclair State College, and I'm saying, okay. And she told me that. So it became a pivotal moment that I said.
I mean, you know what's funny? I'm acting surprised. I really shouldn't be surprised. I got to take myself back to that time and realize the dynamics like he's saying. And I should, I'm offended by it, right?
Yeah.
But I should I don't know. I feel like that must have been the norm.
Well, see, at that time, Montclair State in itself was a predominantly white university. It was only maybe 5%, 10%, African American. And then it was ironic because you talk about timing and you talk about being where you're supposed to be. My grandmother, maybe 20, 30 years ago. I mean, excuse me, from that point when I went in 1970, right? So I'm going to say somewhere around 1950 to 1960. I can find the exact date, but she was one of the first, if not the first, female to graduate from Montclair State College with a master's or a PhD. I forget which one it was. So then here it was 30 years later. Did I end up going to the exact same school? My brother also went to the exact same school. You know what I mean? So we are where we're supposed to be. You know what I mean? So I think Stevie Wonder has a song that said, God knew exactly where he wanted you to be. So, yeah, I be wherever I'm supposed to be. All right? But that was a pivotal moment in my education, along with coming back from Nam and hearing her telling me, the lady in the airport saying, you gave that nigga my ticket to go into school, and then she told me, if you tone down your paper. Was it the truth? Yes, I told you the truth, but you didn't want to face up to the truth. Because this is an inner city family class dealing with who knows the community better than me.
Right.
But you
didn't live in it.
Exactly. You didn't fail me because of that. You failed me because of your prejudice and your biases.
And she didn't like the message in the paper.
Thank you. And she didn't like my presentation to the class. See, because the class was there. Now, you got to remember, at this time, the class, I guess, is like, 17, 18, 19. And then I'm like 20, 21 because I'm
you're right.
So so those were pivotal moments, and then at the time when I was coming back, you had Marvin Gaye singing like "What's Going On," you know what I mean? Our ball club wasn't a pennant, you know what I mean? Who's going to save the babies? So you get a culture thing, and then you had Gil Scott-Heron saying the revolution will not be televised. You had Leroy Jones speaking. You had James Baldwin. You hear Langston Hughes. You know what I mean? And people of conscience who wanted to make a change, who didn't compromise, who didn't want to compromise. So therefore you say, well, yeah, if I ever get in that position, that's what I want to do. So therefore, you start taking that on as you go.
Or you kind of wait to be in that position, right? Instead of taking it upon yourself to be that position.
I think you kind of like, You are. You're there. Let me see what I'm saying. You we use these terms, we use these terms like, black, white, okay? There's no such thing. There's no such thing. We are human beings. Human beings. And the only reason we have color is because of the location where we at, according with the sun, how long we stayed there, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm
Science,
saying?
right?
Exactly.
Right.
So let's get away from the bullshit. But we have these and we say these things as if they're facts. You know what I'm saying? And they're lies. So if they're lies, why do we keep on accepting the lie, and why do we keep on spreading the lie? Let's deal with the truth, okay? There's no such thing as black and white. There's no such thing, that is called, that we have those separation. We have those to instill a, quote, white superiority. You see what I'm saying? Well, that's not the truth, but then that's what is, what they are saying. So let's chop that down. Let's not deal with that ignorance. You are a human being. I'm a human being. You know what I mean? I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. Not because your skin is white. White. What is white? And then when I was growing up, I never understood what that when that was told to me. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking. When you got people that loves you, tell you the lie. You know what I mean? I was told that I was black. Well, then I had a dilemma. What the hell is black? Well, my specific pigmentation is brown. So who the hell are they talking about? You know what I mean? And I never saw somebody who was quote white. Like if we look at this book, this may be white, or this is white. I have never seen no person that's white.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we feed into that. We got this holiday Thanksgiving coming up in 4 days. It's a lie. So why am I? Do you think that the quote Native American celebrate Thanksgiving?
I wasn't there. I don't have
if this is your land,
right.
You know what I mean, and now you're on a reservation that was taken from you.
Right.
So the history books will say that the pilgrims came here,
and we're welcome with open arms.
Welcome, and they didn't do no harm. But when they stepped foot, when Columbus first stepped foot, somebody was living here.
Right.
But the history book said that he discovered
something that was already here.
How can you discover something that's already here? And then, so when you discover that, and then you bring, you moved a whole bunch of people out, displace them. So when you learn the truth, why can you go back? How can you go back? You know what I mean? Andrew, I was, I went to Tennessee for a while, and I was trying to understand why didn't the slaves run? Why didn't you run? So I went out to the Hermitage, as the place is called. It's Andrew Jackson Spread, right outside of Nashville. And I see why they didn't run. You know what I mean? It's a big, wide open field. Where the hell you going to run to?
Right.
And if you run, you're in Tennessee, will run to Kentucky. Condition going to be any better in Kentucky? Hell no. If you run south, where you got Alabama, it ain't going to be no better. You can't run. So it gave me an insight. Well, I see why they didn't run. Right? And then you learn of the stories that had happened during that period of time, and that are happening now, where it hasn't really changed. You know what I mean? So, like, you know what I mean? And we not say it hasn't changed. Women, you know what I mean, that still not breastfeeding will go to these daycare centers and get preferred meals. What the is a preferred meal? It's processed food. You love your kid, but you're giving them processed food.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, no, man, somebody got to speak up. Somebody got to say something. Why are you doing that? Because, see, it seems so natural to them. I'm giving you something free. No, they're not. It's not free, first of all. It's like that water in Flint, Michigan. All right? You got babies that are dead or dying or harm themselves because of water. Something as basic as water.
Yeah.
Lead poisoning. And I'm saying, if you can feed people on Thanksgiving, if you can make these changes, you can do them year round if you want to. But the society and what we live don't want that. And as long as you want to be stupid and ignorant and continue to do the same thing, guess what? He said, welcome. Keep on doing it.
So what do you think that can be done to do that year round? I mean, because it seems like I would think that would be a complicated task.
No, you do some love. Love. You know what I mean? If we can show that love during Thanksgiving, we can do that love, tomorrow, the day after Thanksgiving. If we need to see somebody who's hungry, we can feed them. If we see somebody that needs some clothes, we can give them some clothes. And I don't mean this give me stuff as far as, when you see these people on the street and talking about give me. No, I'm not talking about that there. I'm talking about, the thing as far as, teach me how to fish and they can fish for themselves. You know what I mean? And take away these damn barriers that you have here They're keeping people from being what they want to be and doing what they want to do. See, only reason people do that because they figure they can't. It's too insurmountable. Man, this shit is too much. I can't get out of it. You know, I saw the other day that there was 1.4 billion prescriptions for opioids.
Wow, man.
America make up 5% of the population, but I think it makes up like 60% of the consumption.
Those are, yeah, I know what statistics you're talking about. I don't know what the specific numbers are, but yeah, no, I saw that we have one of the smallest populations, but one of the highest rates of drug usage, prescription drug usage.
Why is that?
You know, I think that it's just that people believe that they need it. You know,
and why do they need it?
To feel better. I really have no answer.
And why do they want to feel better?
Because they don't like feeling where the way they
exactly.
They're not happy with themselves at the moment.
They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with the situation they're in. They're not happy with the condition that they gotta do. So therefore, let me get fucked up, and then doing it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so with time, you know, people's like, you know, for example, you have examples out there for you. All right, so I'm playing, and I read the story of Charlie Yardbird Parker. Okay, a hell of a musician, but he was a drug addict. So. Do I want to be a drug addict so I can be like Charlie Bird Parker? But a lot of people did. People thought, you know what I mean, oh, let me wear these wrinkled clothes, let me do this here, let me do that, imitating him. But he was doing it because that was his existence. But you can't, you know, why do that? So therefore, I don't want to be. I'm not consumed by that ego. I'm not consumed by that quest for fame. That I'll do anything to get this place. Because if you're doing it for the Creator, if you're doing it for a force of good, you gonna get there where you want to go, where He wants you to be. You see what I'm saying? See, it's not about me. You know, it's a greater thing. You know, because look, if this is the greatest thing we call life, you know what I mean, and you leave here, what the hell are you going to do? Well, I mean, what are you going to say? You came here. Well, I was a reporter for 50 years. Or I sold ice cream for 40. That's what it's about. You came here, or I worked for 50 years with the Greyhound bus station. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Well, I worked for Wells Fargo, and I was the president. I was the CEO. I made a lot of money. Okay. And what did you do with that money? This dude from Wells Fargo just got up there with that thing with and Elizabeth Warren was talking to him where he made so many billions of dollars, and then he retired. You know, but he had all his employees, you know, giving people false accounts and all this stuff here. See, once you get into this matrix, as I call it, you know, we sell our souls. We sell our souls. You know what I mean?
And you just weren't doing it anymore, were you? You were just like, no, I'm gonna.
Because when you leave here, what are you gonna say? You know what I mean? Why did you do it?
Right.
And then to me, I think that if it was about money, why the millionaires kill themselves? You know what I mean? If they got all the money they want, if it's about fame, you know what I mean? They still killing themselves because they're not satisfied with themselves. See, we can project our image to you or to me and stuff, but then again, at the core root, you know who you are and what you're about.
Right.
So you can fool everybody, but you can't fool yourself. You know what I mean? So once you start, when you lay down, you know what I mean, and you know if you're doing something that's good, you know you're acting, you know if you're acting out of love or if you're acting out of ego. You know what I mean? So you gotta have the courage to do that. You gotta, if you're seeing a person that you love smoking a cigarette, would you say, look at, you shouldn't be smoking. You know what I mean? You're not doing it trying to persuade, but you're doing it out of an act of love.
Right.
Do that because it's not healthy for you. All right. Now if they don't get the message, then hey, but you did your job. You spoke on it. As opposed to not saying nothing, well, just keep on smoking.
Right.
Well, if they make that choice, you know, I started smoking because dun 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 dun, dun the Marlboro song. I didn't like no damn Marlboro. I heard the damn thing a lot, and the first cigarette I picked up was the Marlboro.
Right.
All right, because see, I was not persuaded, that propaganda of the TV and that jingle of a song. See them jingles. See, they get a jingle, and you get hooked on a jingle, and you lose reason and everything because of a jingle. Instead of what they're doing, they're poisoning you. So therefore, if you work for the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company, do you feel good about yourself?
Right.
When you know that you're killing people every single day? Well, damn, they give me 6 figures to forget about it. And that's what you do. For them 6 figures, you forget about the amount of people that you're killing every day within this corporation. Because this corporation is not good. You know it, and they know it. The sugar company in 1950 was doing studies, and they knew that sugar was, direct conflict causing health problem, heart and stuff. So they went to one of the prestigious university and got the university to do a report in pro-sugar. When they already got the facts that it's anti-sugar, but then for the money, this prestigious university said, well, it's good.
Or write a different report.
And that's what it's all about. See, in America, you know what I mean, money wins out. Love don't win out. Reason don't wins out. You know what I mean? So do
you think that a lot of the world's problems would be like resolved or taken care of if people were just true to themselves and did what they wanted to out of life instead of what they think is expected of them, or maybe instead of chasing a dollar, they just went and kind of did whatever made them happy as opposed to doing it for money? Do you think that a lot of the problems would solve themselves?
Yeah. You take that money out of the equation, and you put love there. See, love. See, the things to look at. Look, you can't get around it. See, love. You can't get around it. You know, love is the key. You know, look.
Do you think it's ironic? Do you think it's ironic that you ended up in the city of brotherly love with your message?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because that's why I'm here. Because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be here. You see what I'm saying?
So you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Just
exactly.
Like,
you know, and because after a while, see, there may be doubt first. You know what I mean, about where where you're going. Like you say, this big player, right? But then again, you see this come together, and then that part of the puzzle come together, and then you find that young lady, and then you get that family there, and then the music come together. See, and then you get the location come. See, then you. Once again, you start getting that 360 together. So then you start getting that. Well, hey, I'm on the right path now. You know, because it's evidence by what you're doing. You know what I mean? So therefore, you know, let me go ahead and be true to the quest. And then once your purpose become clear to you, then thank you. Then you know, then you locked in. Oh, for me, I'm locked in now. See, you locked in. So this thing of love, since you know, we haven't experienced. It's a yearning out there. It's a yearning out there. You either pay for it now or you pay for it later. If you don't, if your mother don't give you love, see, you know, if your mother don't give you love, so you don't know nothing about it. But you're in quest, you're looking for it. You know, and you hope you can find this partner to give it to you. But it's got to start with you. You got to love yourself. You know what I mean? When nobody else loves you, or when you've been, you know, when you've been busted up by love, you got to still love yourself. And so, in my quest, I had this quest to find this young lady. It was a quest, and I left from Jersey. And after I left college, after the 2 years, I quit. Right? And I said, well, damn.
Did you end up getting your degree after all, or
yeah, I went back. I went back in '74 because 2 years on the road. I went down to Tennessee. And that's where I met my wife. She was going to Tennessee State. I met her once again on this quest. See, I had this quest to find this woman. So then I told her, okay, I'm trying to blow this horn. I'm not gonna do it like everybody else. You know, I'm doing this. I want to do it like. Yeah, and she was coming out of Tennessee State senior, and it was a song by Frankie Beverly called "Southern Girls." So me being from the north, and then the hearing about. There was 2 universities down there in the African American community, right? One is called Fisk and one is called Tennessee State, and they are at opposite ends of the street, right? And so if you walk from one and on a summer day, there may be like hundreds and hundreds of females out there. So that sounded real good to me at the time. Now, let me go down here and see all these women. So that's what I did in quest for this partner that I was yearning for, and yeah, but she wasn't in one. You see what I'm saying? And it took me 15, 20 years to realize that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But so now I have it. But I'm not bitter about the experience of the 15 years earlier, because that makes me more, you know, enjoy this even much more now. I can enjoy my 2-year-old now more than I ever my 46-year-old because I didn't have the stability there. You know, we are no more than what the shell of this here, right? A vessel, right?
Right.
And we're 3/4 water. So therefore, we take the shape of whatever container. This water take the shape of this container, and to make it volatile, that's all we gotta do is just shake it. You know, and then we do it. The more violent, it'll come out and do whatever. But that's what we are. We're nothing but water, right, in this shell, and so we gotta be able to control it. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to control it. I realize what it's about. And it ain't about what these people along the way have told me about. So the reality now is, now that you know the truth, what you going to do about it?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. I really like how, I like how everything comes together. The way that you place it and it comes together, and it's about like your philosophy on life of following yourself and following what it is that makes you happy. Your ex-wife, did she follow the things that made her happy in life? Or do you think that she also kind of fell into the rat race trap where we're looking for something? And maybe that's what caused that little bit of friction to where you seem like you wanted to always follow what you could. Maybe you couldn't get to where you were, and that's what kind of caused for me. But did she buy into that and follow her own dreams, or did she kind of go in the system?
Once again, so those are my visions. The Southern girl, trying to find a young lady, trying to play the horn. Those are my vision. And what I was trying to do was find the components to go with it. And so it was this quest to find this young lady. I felt that was, urgent, to find her. And, once again, if you got to do your homework. You got to do your homework. You can't be overwhelmed by love. You see what I'm saying? You can't be overwhelmed by it. You got to understand it. But then again, if you don't understand it, if you don't know what it is, how the hell can you understand it? And I was never given love. I don't know what love the hell is right now. And I'm beginning to experience now. But I didn't have the love of my mother. I didn't have the love of my father because they wasn't there. I mean, that's just the reality. Wow. So I lost that. So how could I?
Did you have brothers and sisters as well?
I got a brother and a sister. And even with that, I didn't have the convention of because we came from a split family, right? I didn't live with my brother until I was in the 8th grade. I never, quote, lived with my sister at all. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. We come in and we got to adjust. We got to deal with what is, all right? So there was no love there, but then I had my grandparents there, and I had a place to stay. I was constantly on the move and stuff, but it wasn't no love there. You know what I mean? So that's what the question is, to find the love. And then, so with my partner now, I can appreciate the love more now. You know what I mean? Because it's real. It's genuine. You know what I'm saying? It's not what somebody said it is. I have experienced it. I know what it is. I know how it made me feel. So therefore, my obligation to them to be a provider, to provide for them, and to give them love. Because see, if you don't get it on this end, man, look at these people who commit mass murders and all this shit, right? It's a reflection of the society that they didn't get love. You know what I mean? When these kids out there, when I be on the corner right out here every day when the school let out, the kids come out there and they be they don't have no love. You know what I'm saying? They don't. If you love me, why the hell you say? All right, they say the schools are broke here in Philly, right? Yeah. So why the hell you send your kid to school? If the schools are broke, right? Which everybody said, the school level, the learning capacity is down. It's a reason.
I think we hope they get something. You know what I mean? That something sticks.
So that's what I'm saying. We got this soda tax to help the schools. Let's tear the shit up and make it right. And then if you're in school, let's tell the truth. Let's stop talking about Columbus discovered America.
Right.
But we don't control the curriculum, so therefore we got to tell a lie. And right here in right here, right up the street, it's supposed to be the pillars of what we stand for. All men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and we're still killing each other. There's a person of color being killed damn near every week and it's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And see, that's what I'm saying. So what we're doing is that. Making it easy to accept our conditions. It's all right to kill people. You know what I mean? No, it's not.
And we're desensitized by it.
Exactly.
A lot of the times.
But why not when we're doing the same thing over there in Syria every day? And the United States is bombing. Who else in the history of mankind has ever dropped a bomb on another country and killed 150,000 people at one time?
Yes, yeah.
And did it twice.
Right.
And then you tell me that I'm not civilized, or I did it because you're a barbarian. Now you know the truth of the fact, and then you want to still practice the lie. Why do you want to practice the lie? You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you got it's like Howard Zinn. You know what I mean? The making the history of America. So once you start reading the facts, maybe these heroes wasn't heroes. Andrew Jackson was not a hero. When I was in Tennessee, I told you I went out to his place out there, right? This man killed Indians. He was a known Indian killer. That's the amazing thing. Come on. And so we glorify him and put him on a $20 bill. You took off and had maybe, I forgot the amount of totals, but you started off with, say, with 8,000 or 10,000 Indians, and you end up with 300 of them. Did you kill? You put them on a thing called the March of Tears or something like that, and you killed them. And you're a hero? No, man. And then it was funny because down there in Tennessee, they had a slave down there named Albert. And his request was that when he died, he wanted to be buried next to the president. And at 99, he died, and guess where he's at? Buried next to Andrew and Rachel Jackson in Tennessee. Get the hell up out of here. Why would I want to be buried next to a known, quote, racist Indian killer and every damn thing else? And we know that.
So who are your heroes? Who are your heroes? I see the wheels turning.
Yeah, because see, once again, man, anybody that I'm coming to the realization. Anybody that put their pants on, it's just a human being. You see what I'm saying? He may have this or that there. So a hero, and I hesitate because. In the past, I've found that, to quote, those people who I considered heroes were disappointing.
Okay, all right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's fair. Yeah. No, that's fair.
But see,
because they have some. There's got to be some flaw, right?
They have flaw.
Some quality that's not 100. Right?
Exactly, and that's is the thing that I try to work on my flaws. See, we got to work on the things that we can improve on. You know what I mean? The things that we got control of, I'm trying to improve, it's like when I'm playing, if I play, say, we'll get to the song again. If I'm playing Yankee Doodle, Winter London, Just to Ride, if I play that every day, I mean, goddamn, how many times can I play that and feel that?
Right.
But if I'm up here playing every day and playing something different, creating, Adolph Sax invented this saxophone, right? Less than 200 years ago. So the instrument itself has not even been really experimented with as far as where it can do or what. And
do you have any recorded music? Have you gone and?
Oh man, I got I go from Sidney Bechet to Coltrane to Ornette Coleman to Stan Getz. But see, you got to be a history. History is usually his story. And it's all depending on who's telling the story,
right.
what part of history it is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to, so I want to deal with that's why you deal with the truth. Usually the history is written by the victors. And they always glorify and tell you how the shit was or how they want you to believe it was.
Right.
And empowering them. See what I mean? Empowering them. Take this and come back and see the doctor. Well, I don't need no doctor. Take care of my body. Have the knowledge to take care of my own body. I don't need no doctor. And the Creator give you enough signs yourself. Not, just saying, when you take that first puff off that cigarette, you cough. Your lungs are telling you, hey, man, this ain't for me.
Right.
But you override that and say, well, fuck it. I want my pleasure, I want to still smoke.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we have the natural ability to do what's right and what's good. We just tend to ignore the shit. You know what I mean? So my thing is not, and because I'm at this age now, 68. What the fuck, you know what I mean? And I got a beautiful partner of 45. She's only 45, right? And what can you do to me besides, you know what I mean? The only thing you can do to me now is kill me. So therefore, it's all about the truth. It's about the truth.
You got nothing to lose at this point.
Nothing.
You got nothing to lose. Right.
Everything in the game, right? Because that's where we're at. That's where I'm at right now. So, and that, see, my story is
that's got to be liberating. I mean, that's got to be truly liberating.
Exactly, and that's why you're out there.
To literally have zero fucks to give, just be like, no, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm about, and you can't tell me nothing about it.
Exactly.
This is what I'm gonna do.
See, and after a while, you know what I mean, the creativity and it comes with the confidence. You know what I'm saying? When I've had people say riding a bicycle, stop and come over there and say, hey, I like that. I've had a person come over there and say, you make my day. Coming through here and hearing you and seeing you every day doing this here, it inspires me. That's the ticket for me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
And you're where you're supposed to be.
I'm where I'm supposed to be. And that is it's not about how much money you put in there. It's just saying those little things there. That's my gratitude. That's my instant gratification. You make my day.
Well,
Man,
that's
that
awesome,
sounds
man.
so good. Man, that is, I heard you a block away, and I said, well, how did it sound? It's beautiful. Well, then if it's beautiful to you, then hey, that's what it's about. And so that's, it's not about the dance. I don't want people to dance. I want you to think. I want you to think. If you hear the music and then you see the sign, you got to think. And you got to think about your conditioning. You got to think about you and how you can improve yourself. And see, I look at it because I tell myself, I told you with my partner, with her being a clinical psychologist and stuff, this is reality. And so you can get a dose of truth right here for nothing. Because there's no lies there. I mean, if and people come by and say, I've come by and I've seen your signs, and they want to take pictures and stuff. You know what I mean? Well, then that's what it's about. Because if you take a picture, and then you show it to somebody else. I went to Philly. I saw this guy blowing his horn, and he had this sign: "Love is who you are. Ego is who you think you." Oh wow! Well, then I've done my job. You wasn't dancing. You looked at me, and you took that, and you're gonna take that to give it to somebody else, and you're gonna get them to thinking. You see what I'm saying? So if you think...
It's funny you say that, because that's what I did when I saw you last weekend. I took a picture of you, and then I quoted your sign, and I put that up on social media, and people were seeing it. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And that's how it works. And see, that's how we change things. See, I changed me. You change you. I'm not trying to, change you. I'm changing me.
Right.
So if I change me and you change you, then it get contagious. Everybody change themselves. But you don't change yourself for somebody else. You change yourself for yourself and seeking that with its truth. You're chasing, but people out there chasing these illusions, these dreams where somebody told them that this is what it's about. You're working 40 hours a week for somebody else. For what? When you can do something you put 40 hours on you for yourself.
My wife's going to hear this, and she's going to say, "Oh my God, I can't. This dude, he's telling you everything you've been wanting to hear." That's exactly what she's going to say.
There's a young lady came by there. Her name was, I think it was Raquel. And I was talking to her over maybe 3 or 4 months and stuff. And then she said, you know what? She said, I've got a job. She said, I'm leaving. And I said, where you going? She said, hey, I got the support of my husband, and I'm going in my business for myself, and I'm going to do this. I said, well, hey, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? I had one of the rangers from the park rangers up there come by last week and told me, she said, I'm leaving. She said, I want to take your picture with you. And I said, where you going? She said, I'm going down to D.C. And I said, you're going to be doing the same thing in the National Rangers? And she said, no, I'm going to work for a non-profit organization to help feed the hungry.
Awesome,
you know what I mean?
man.
You've been an inspiration. You see what I'm saying? So in the course of being there and engaging in conversation with different people, you may inspire them at the same time. It's a reciprocal thing where they inspire you. And see, that's what I'm saying. When you come by and you say something, you put a thought in my mind. And then maybe that thought make me put a certain finger for this horn because I heard what you said, or it made that. So it's spontaneous. It's feed off each other.
Well, I can tell you, David, you really have inspired me. Thank you so much for taking the time out to come and speak with me.
Hey, man, my honor.
I really do appreciate it. People want to get in contact with you. How do they do that? How do we make that? Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, hold on, just a second here. I want to make sure that I'm able to promote this a little bit more. Give me just a second here. All right, so if people want to get a hold of you, they want to get in contact with you, how do they do that? Where do they go over there? Fourth and Market.
Or just come to, Ed's Baby Boy, Twitter account, or either, contact.
Oh, you do have a Twitter? Yeah, okay, all right. It's not, it wasn't on your card, but so you do have a Twitter.
Ed's Baby Boy, go to Ed's Baby Boy.
You don't mind if I show this information, do you? No.
Or the phone number, 267-467-1207. You know what I mean? And yeah, we just spread the love. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Spread the love.
Excellent, brother. Thank you so much for taking time to come out and speak with me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All
right.
It. Thank you.
Cool, man. If I could just get you one more time, say Ed's Baby Boy, this is David Puryear, and you're listening.
This is Ed's Baby Boy, and you're listening to KNOW, Philadelphia.
I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you. Brother, that was awesome. Thank you very much. All right, this podcast is sponsored by GeckoBrosRadio.com. So that's GeckoBrothersRadio.com. You can check out other podcasts from around the country, all usually dealing with hip hop and things that are going on all over the country. They're really cool to host us, and we appreciate that. And it is also sponsored by my mother, because if she didn't have me, I wouldn't be here, and this podcast wouldn't exist. So thanks for that. Talk to you later.